Next map is going to be Moonlight Madness. I think this is the first TVP professionally that I'm going to be seeing on this map. Very interesting map. Personally, what I like to do is take the rock space as the natural because it's very easy to defend. It's also perfectly fine to take that as your third base as well. Since it just takes so long to break down those rocks, it's relatively easy to get up a 3-base economy. It's also somewhat of an okay map to do a 2-base all-in on because of the double entrances into the main, although they are very, very far away. So that it's very hard to maneuver from one area to the other. Anyways, game 2. Let's see what Classic ends up doing. If I were Classic, I would feel really bad I wouldn't feel that bad right now. I guess if he scouted what Flash had been doing a little bit sooner, Flash tricked, just straight out tricked Classic with his opener, and Classic was just taken off. Wow, these reactions. Wait.
Well, it's usually the girl that rests on the guy's shoulder, but you know, sometimes you have a hard day.
Pop out of there.
So, as I was saying,
Pardon the interruption.
awkward couple interruption.
What is Wolf gonna say?
The battle was again Flash's macros.
Okay, they're just going over the last game. So what Flash is doing now, he's playing a little bit safer, opening up for a Reaper expand. This map, not the worst map for Reapers because you can go through the back entrance. And you can also hop up onto the cliff between... There's a little cliff over here between the main and this base. So you can hop up there with the Reaper, and that can be a temporary safe spot as well. But ooh, we see Classic proxying a probe. It looks like he's going to be going for a proxy Stargate play. Not a bad way to start off the game. Going for some cheese of his own. At least Flash is playing a little bit safer. And he's going to scout the double gas. He's going to scout... I think he saw the gas. He's going to look for the pylon a little bit. He doesn't see the pylon. He's checking around. Where's the pylon? Where's the pylon? He's not going to see it, so he's going to build an engineering bay shortly after his command center. Okay, so he is taking the command... He is taking the expansion on the... No? Okay. What? Okay, wow, that's a really fast engineering bay. I'm really curious. I think he hasn't had a lot of practice against proxy oracles because he doesn't play cheesy and a Europe server. You can actually... And wow, he's building a bunker that fast too. So, you can... fuck you. He's falling apart. Okay. Okay, so this is an interesting reaction with the SCV. Going for a proxy factory play. I like it. That's why he's getting the bunker up and the turret up really fast, because he's not going to expand. He's not going to expand that fast. Oh my gosh, is that an... Okay, that's a second barracks. Very, very interesting. So he's at 2 barracks and 1 factory before he takes his expansion. So I'm wondering what he's gonna do here. Good Oracle control by Classic. He always has fantastic Oracle control. Like it's so hard not to lose anything against a good Oracle player. Oh my god, a fleet beacon. Okay, it wasn't on this map, it was on Cactus Valley, but Hitman actually tried to do a proxy Tempest rush against me, and it ended up failing. I think this would have been a good strategy to do, though, on Dash and Terminal with all that freaking dead airspace. It would be pretty impossible to hit the Tempests. This map isn't... it's not the worst map, I guess, because you got that airspace over there you can go towards. But oh my gosh, the Widow Mine is here, and Classic is in a world of hurt right now. So what he's gonna have to... Okay, so the Oracle's forced to go back. It doesn't have enough energy for Revelation, and I don't think it's gonna have enough energy for a while. These Widow Mines are gonna stack on top of each other. Flash is getting stim. So he knows that Classic is on one base still, I believe. Okay, yeah, the SCV even scouts that there's multiple gateways going up, so he knows that Classic's still on one base. So Flash staying on one base himself, he's going to be in a much more advantageous positioning. And now I'm really starting to like the fact that he went for or he didn't go for a command center, rather, I should say, because this stim timing and the marine count is going to be able to crush whatever all-in that Classic does against him. So the first Tempest is out now. Oh, he's going to go up there. Okay, so there's a lot of airspace there. That's super annoying, but yeah, Flash is doing the right move. This is what I would do as well in his situation. So the Tempests do really slow DPS. It's just funny looking at them because they don't even kill SCVs, and I don't think they kill SCVs in 2 shots. They're just so slow. So what Flash is doing right now is just going to walk over and he's just going to kill Classic. Classic doesn't have a Mothership Core. He didn't get the Mothership Core because he's going for an all-in. He's busy being occupied with the Widow Mine, so he has 1 Stalker. This game is over. Flash is in a really good position right now. Where did his SC... What the fuck is he doing? I don't understand what he's doing right now. He should have kept the SCVs mining, because right now his SCVs are not mining as well. I think he's trying to commit to a full-on base trade, which I don't really agree with here. Because he's not gonna have any more units after this. These Stalkers are... Yeah, he's just going for the full base trade, which I don't think was very necessary. By the time that these SCVs got here, well, this is quite odd. The Tempests are coming back now, and if Flash has to stim again, the Tempests are going to be able to kill him very easily. So yeah, now Flash realizes, that this was not a good idea to go for a base trade. It was completely unnecessary and overreaction to the Tempests. Probably because he's never been Tempest Rush before. He should have just kept his units mining. So like, he could have easily had like 6 to 9 more Marines by now. Classic is dead already. Okay, Flash has Vikings. Okay, because he had the factory. I believe Classic remade that Oracle. Good choice by him, but just really, it was a really not a good decision for Flash to go for a base trade. I think it overcomplicated the situation that he's in right now, because now this game is a lot closer than it should have been. This should have been a very clean win, but now Flash is kind of in an awkward situation where he is technically still ahead, but I can't tell if this is the safer, if this is like the better. Yeah, I definitely think this is a worse decision, because now he has to evacuate his base. If he was just mining this whole time, he would have had plenty of time to get out more units, and Tempest has such a slow DPS that even if they can kite back indefinitely, they just would not be able... Oh my god, is Flash going to lose his... Okay, but he should still win this game, because Classic cannot lift off any buildings. No, I'm kidding. I think Flash lost this game. That was a really poor overreaction by Flash to pull his SCVs. I think he overestimated the Tempest's DPS. As a Terran player, you probably never see Tempests. The only time I've seen Tempests is when I've been proxy Tempest rushed multiple times by Rotterdam back in the day, and Hitman has proxy Tempest rushed me once or twice as well, and maybe a random Tempest thing. And then when I play mechs, sometimes if you switch into air, you see Tempests. So Flash has probably never seen Tempest before, so he didn't realize how bad of a unit they actually are. I'm not sure though. Flash still might be able to win this, because if they go for a full-on base trade, these Tempests are so slow. Like, they're still so bad that I think Flash is still going to be able to win. Does Classic have... Yeah, what Classic has to do is he has to go back and he has to defend his base. He can defend his base really easily, and yeah, this is just gonna be a draw, I think. This is just gonna be a draw. This should have been a win, an easy win for Flash, and then even after the base race. Okay, so I don't think Classic should... Okay, so he's splitting the Tempest up. I guess that's an okay idea. Let's see. I'm not sure if 2 Vikings can beat a Tempest, though. Because Tempests have a ridiculous amount of range. Flash has 6 Marines. I believe they're full health. So they have a lot of stim. So if these Tempests get caught out of position, what Flash is doing is he has the watchtower. So if the Tempest is flying by, he would be able to see it and he'd be able to intercept it. If he can intercept the Tempest and get under it without the Tempest being able to escape through 1 stim, he should be in a good position. But Classic is very aware of this, so he is using his he's keeping his Tempests in like a very in very defensive spots so that they can kind of just move over the terrain as soon as the Marines stim. Flash is either going to get a draw or is going to lose, though. That was not the right choice, pulling the SCVs. He should have just kept repairing the turret, making units at home and going for the counterattack. In fact, I think even making the Vikings, I would go so far as to say that the starport and the Vikings were unnecessary and that he should have stuck at barracks tech for a lot longer. Obviously, in hindsight, all of this is something that he would see himself if we watched the replay and went over the game. And I'm not sure about Stim. I guess Stim is an okay upgrade, but I personally... Oh, excuse me, it's already 4:30, wow. I personally prefer to get combat shields if I know my opponent has a proxy Stargate and I'm going to go for a counterattack like that. Because even though Stim is good for DPS, it weakens your overall counterattack with each successive Stim, whereas combat shields permanently increases your strength of the attack and the longevity of it as well. I'm pretty sure Flash just loses this actually, because come to think of it, because he cannot bum rush his Classic's base, but Classic can slowly chip away with the Tempest and probably win this game. That is insane that Classic has a good chance of winning this game actually, because Tempests have a really far range. I wonder what the casters are saying. I'm pretty sure Classic is going to win this, though. So.
He moves away, though. Oh,
I spotted the units.
and now the second Tempest is coming, though. They might get sandwiched here. These units.
Quite possibly. It has to
Oh.
spot
He stems, he goes for it. This is his moment. Will he take it? And now while he targets the Marines and doesn't do enough single target damage, he targets the Viking. The Marines live. Is he going to get that Tempest? He is going to kill the Tempest. And the Viking lives. That is so important right now. Now, I don't think the Classic can win this game. This game might be decided by a stalemate now, because he can't. If he just camps and defends his buildings, Flash can never kill him. I don't think with this unit composition anymore.
Yeah,
but
I don't think.
Now Classic can't kill him. I think it's a stalemate. It will be a tie.
I think you're right. I think it has to be.
Oh my God! I can't believe that. He was so indecisive with his Tempest. If he targets the Marines, they do so much damage, but then he loses the DPS of the Vikings, so he targets some of the Marines and switches to the Viking at the last second, and that was what allowed him to kill the Tempest. Flash just simply needs to keep his units ready for the run-in and avoid the Tempest. The way the Classic wins this game now is by killing these Marines. Like, if he actually ends up killing the Marines one by one, then he can win the game.
He's being an idiot. He actually has to kill the Vikings, not the Marines. The Marines don't mean anything because most of them are in red health. It's the Vikings that he needs to focus the shots on. The Marines aren't going to do any damage to the Tempest. So this is a game of cat and mouse. If I were Flash, oh, you can see all the buildings too. But, okay, so that can act as a little bit of bait. But if I were Flash, I'd just sit back and go for the draw because, yeah, there's no way that...
And actually, when the fight, that one Viking also is on like 0 health.
Yeah,
He has to
Flash.
find them. And the Marines can't.
Flash is just waiting for the draw right now. He knows he can't win. Classic knows he can't win either. So,
And if he goes to kill the buildings to the north with that Tempest, Flash will be able to kill his buildings as long as Flash doesn't lose his unit. So he's just going to run away. He has the watchtower and he has buildings enough to spot this. This game is a stalemate. It's already decided. Both players have already accepted it, and a referee's going to have to go in there soon to ask them.
alright, so both players have accepted it's a stalemate. So, moving on to a remake of game number 2.